Yeah, you know what it is, man. Great night of boxing yesterday. You know, last night was lit, and the new Ryan Garcia becomes the WBC welterweight champion of the world. The welterweight got a new king. He got a new king. You know, you got to crown him. It's only right. You got to crown him. There's gonna be a lot of haters out, but hey, it is what it is. You know, Richardson Hitchins caught the Doug flu. It's diabolical. Damn hit dog. Knows the cook up hour. I'm here for an hour. Cook up and get up on out of here. And get up on out of here, you know. Hey, yo, your parlay hit? Damn. That's what's up. We game all night. Your parlay hit? Man, I went basketball route, man. LeBron fucked my parlay up. Front line, what up? Front line, what up? Yeah, man, he fucked my parlay up. You know, when I went on there, I was going to hit for the first round. A knockdown in the first round. I should have bet the shit, but I didn't. I was mad, like, dang. But yeah, Ryan pulled it off, man. Shout out Ryan Garcia, man. Ryan did it, y'all. That WBC look good around his waist, man. People, you got to put respect on it, man. People got to respect it. Pe- People got to respect it, man. Shout out Ryan Garcia. You know, shout out Henry. You know, shout out Henry. Shout out Henry. You know, shout out Henry, man. Henry did it. A front line. Yeah. Henry did it. Henry did it, man. Shout out Henry. You know, good game plan. Ryan looked good on his feet. Um, hey man, that was a shutout. He pitched the shutout. That boy pitched the shutout, man. Barrios couldn't contain him. Barrios couldn't contain him. But the whole night was great fights, you know. But they call me Louis Luther King, right? You know, I had a dream. Then I wake up this morning and the boxing guys told me, you know, that what I seen on TV in Philly on the news, you know, they had 6 geese on the ice on the news in Philly, right? And they was talking about the bird flu. And the next thing you know, Richard Hitchens was the first athlete with the duck flu, you know, so it's really out here. Yeah, that chain was fire. That chain was fire, you know. So whatever city and state you in, be aware, man. When you see any type of flying, any type of bird, especially ducks, run. I mean, they, they carrying the duck flew out this motherfucker. You know what I mean? You know. But hey, we still had a great night of boxing. Andy Hiroka, you know, hey, he, I, he earned my respect. You know, but that lag ain't kicked in was crazy. But you know, he earned my respect. You know, great fight. You know, strong. You know, absorbed a lot of body shots. You know, and took them very well. You know, shout out to Gary Antoine. You know, still top unification soon. Um, hey, it was a lot. It was a lot, man. It was a lot. Frank Martin and Nair was a great fight. That was a great fight. You know, a lot of people thought it should have been a standing 8 count. Nah, you thought Andy won that? Nah, Gary Russell took it in the first half of the fight. When you look at the first 5 rounds, you feel me? All he had to do was steal 2 in the second half. And you know, when you really look at Andy, he ain't really start coming alive until like the eighth, ninth round, really the ninth one up, going into the championship rounds. So some people can score a 7-5. You know, you got to take it from the champ, man. You got to take it from the champ. In the first half of the fight, he wasn't doing that. Shout out Beck the Bully. You know, Beck the Bully, 7th round TKO. You know what I mean? Amari Jones, you know, Amari Jones got a 4th round stoppage. Um, yo, one thing about Harvey Dock and that Amari Jones fight, right? Yo, y'all peep how Harvey Dot counted. He did the whole fuck the 8 count. The nigga did the whole. He said 9. The nigga still was on the ground. As soon he got the 10, he ain't say 10. He picked the guy up. He picked Lewis up. Yo, Harvey Doc a piece of shit, man. Real rap, yo. Harvey Doc, what's the other little referee name? I said, yo, that referee a piece of shit. The little bald headed motherfucker Huggins. That's his name, Huggins. Huggins. Yo, he ass. Huggins is ass. Where the fuck they find Huggins at? Hey, tell me what up? All facts, you a legend. The channel is fire. I show up when we game all night. What's up? What's up? Yeah, it was a great night of boxing. Clarissa Shields tonight. Yeah, Clarissa Shields tonight. I got you, Timmy Tate. My God. Yeah, it was a great night of boxing, man. It was a great night, man. Shit. You seen what it was doing the prelims at the time when Louis the Cuba pulled up and shit, and him and Turkey was arguing and shit. Then, then you seen how Benavidez uh, 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 told Turkey backstage and shit, nigga, you promised me Canelo, and he started betting and shit. And he said, man, the clip is out there. Please go watch it. Hey, shout out Turkey, man. But yeah, that's the fight we wanted, Turkey. That's the fight we wanted. Now, we won't get into this Ryan shit, but it's all about hit right now. It's all about hit right now. You know, and when you look at who's the manager is, shout out to Teofimo pulling up, shout out to Bud Crawford yawning in the 12th round, acting like the fight was boring. You know, shout out Shakur Stevenson for really exposing the truth. Letting the world know Ryan really won. Excuse me, Ryan Garcia really beat Devin Haney. He beat the dog shit out of Devin Haney. The world know that. We gotta stop. I mean, that ostrich shit gotta get out the window. Because it's too crazy. When you deal with a well-known cheater, why the fuck I'm gonna believe you when that well-known cheater, when I know that well-known cheater told on everybody and he the king of the shit. So, I'm gonna salute Ryan for that. But it was a great fight yesterday for Ryan. But Richardson Hitchins, like the IBF needed stripping. They need to strip him. Fuck vacating, they need to strip him. Listen, y'all, we not trying to hear he was sick the next day weighing. Shit. He did it for Liam Powell, right? He did it for Cambosis, right? When he got on stage, he was talking all that heavy shit. He was talking heavy, but we understand the duck flu out here. Shit, it's in every city, every state. It should be on the news right now. The duck flu is out. But I won't be surprised. How Keith got a Connor Ben over there with the Zuffa situation. I won't be surprised Hit try to go that way. You know, Herb Legend, what's up? Looking suspect pulling out the fight. I don't believe it. Shakur versus Russell. Yeah, that'd be a good fight at 140. Shakur versus Russell. But I mean, hopefully we get that. It looked like him and Ryan. That'd be a good fight. Ryan willing to do the meet him at 144. So at the end of the day, by it still being a catch weight like last time, hopefully that catch weight they make it like a motherfucking welterweight fight. Hopefully that WBC be back on the line and Shakur become the WBC again. Know what I mean? So, that'd be great for Cole. Go back, you know what I mean? And build that relationship with them brothers, man. Because it was better over there for you. You was way better off over there at the WBC, man. Know what I mean? Frontline. Know what I mean? Shout out my co-host, Santos Boxing. Shout out Round One Sports Talk, my guy Edwin. It was a great show last night, great commentary. You know what I mean? What's my guy name? Mr. Miyagi. Like, damn, fact, you a hater. That nigga Andy was on that Conte Miyagi. Know what I mean? Hey, Miyagi. Daniel's son was on that Conte, brother. That's how I look at the situation. But it was a great fight. He grew on me. Shout out Andy Oroka. He grew on me. He came here. He came strong. He did the jet lagging classes. So, in Japan, he really got jet lagging classes. He really got jet lagging classes. Know what I mean? But he half Japanese, half Ghana, right? Like I say, man, he grew on me. He absorbed them body shots very, very well. He showed me that, he got a tank. He got a tank. He's a 12-round fighter. And that's all I had to see from him. Only thing with him is he just got to have a little bit more pop. If he sit on his shots a little bit more, like when he throw that overhand, he'll be getting KOs like a motherfucker, But it shows that the people you was fighting, and when you get to a certain level of elite, like when you start upgrading to B, like the B minus, B plus elite fighters on up, you're gonna have problems and struggles. But at the end of the day, it shows that it takes two to tango. So you always got to give your opponent, their credibility, because like I'm gonna use T.O. and Steve Claggett for an example. And they like, who the fuck Steve Claggett? He got 7 losses. But when you look at the losses that he had, they at the end of the day, like some of his losses he got robbed. But when you watch him fight, you'll like him as a fighter because he's gonna come to fight and he's gonna take your fighter to the gates of hell, man. You know what I mean? But it shows that, it takes two to, the tangle. And Steve Claggett probably like a D elite fighter, a D minus elite fighter, but the nigga's still amongst the elite, you know, especially when you get on these big promotional companies. But you got to show up and show out, shout out to everybody that pulled up, you know, shout out to Rocket. Yo, Rocket, crazy. How the fuck he go the distance with Jake the Snake? That nigga went the distance with Jake the Snake Roberts yesterday, yo. Rocket, crazy. You seen Jake switch on him? You seen Jake switched on him? That shit was mean. But the card was cool. The card was cool. Shout out the Turkey fighter from Riyadh. Kyle. Got him a good KO. One thing about Abel Sanchez, when he get them like Eastern European, Middle Eastern fighters, you know, he turned them into monsters. He make them punching machines. Look at every fighter he trained. Every fighter Abel Sanchez trained. Especially like how he took Triple G to new heights. Abel Abel got a good camp. After Robert Garcia, I stop at like an Abel camp. But if I was ever to go out west, since I ain't gonna lie, since like 2014, 2013, 2014, when I came home from upstate, I've been paying attention to Robert Garcia as a coach. Because I liked the Mikey a lot. His brother Mikey was, at that time was one of my favorite fighters. He was a dog. And I liked it how Robert trained. Really Big G. I always liked how Big G trained. Then how he passed on tradition to his son. I always liked it. Robert conditioned, and he always make his fighters 12-round fighters. So that's what grew upon me to make me like Robertson. Whenever I go there, I fuck with Robert. But when I seen Abel Sanchez and I started to see him more and seeing how he developed his fighters, I'm like, all right, you know. And now that I see him what he doing with this Middle Eastern kid, I'm like, okay, I'll go his route. If I was to stop at a second gym down there, I go to Big Bear. He in Big Bear, right? I go to Big Bear, stop at holler at Abel Sanchez, you know. But yeah, that Frank and Nair card fight was crazy. That fight was crazy. Shout out to Nair. He started singing at the end. I knew he was gonna sing. He always gotta sing, man. This motherfucker always gotta sing. Hey, nah, you can't sing. You can't sing, my nigga. Hey, yeah, but Herb, I don't know what's up with Hit Dog, man. Hit Dog tripping. Hit Dog definitely tripping, man. Hit Dog was supposed to show up and show out yesterday. But oh yeah, yo, those fucking low blows Andy Hiroga was throwing was crazy. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. Gary Russell Jr. right now pissing out blood. I won't be surprised. Gary Antoine Russell. They all named Gary Russell. It's fucking crazy. Well, Gary Antoine, my nigga Antoine Russell. You know what I mean? You know, Yo, those low blows was crazy. And people don't know when you like do a lot of low blows later on in the fight, like that shit'll slow you down. It's like when you in the inside hitting the person's hips or hitting his arms and his shoulders, that shit wear off in the second half of the fight, and he'll be dropping his guard and stuff. I always tell my son this when he boxes, like, yo, go for the arms, man, attack them Jones. It's a 3-round fight. You got 2 rounds to do it. Third round, you get him out of here. Because at the end of the day, when you a knockout puncher, You know, you don't want to keep knocking niggas out in 2, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Nah, you want to get the rounds in. Know what I mean? All right, you score a knockdown, cool. So just in case if it goes a distance, you got a knockdown or two. Yeah, I'm gonna throw him a feature. You know what I mean? That nigga can't sing better than me, frontline. Nah, yeah, can't sing better than me. I knew he was gonna sing. I knew it. I knew that motherfucker was gonna sing. I wrote it in the chat yesterday. When you see the chat, when you looking at one joint, I said, I bet you he sang. And that motherfucker started singing. I knew he was gonna sing. You know, yeah, Clarissa tonight, y'all. Clarissa tonight. Clarissa tonight. Um, it's funny how Ryan left Turkey hanging. I mean, Turkey trying to get him a fist pump. That nigga, I mean, act like he was gonna pump it. Hey, you know what I mean? You know, it's the WBC, baby. It's the WB motherfucking C, man. Ryan pulled it off, a boxing clinic. That was a pure boxing clinic, y'all. Very smart. You know, IQ was on a beam ski, you know. Shout out to Henry. Hen Dog pulled it off, man. Hen Dog pulled it off, man. Hen Dog, like what? Well, he was like 16 and 0 before Ryan started training with other trainers. And then now, just in the championship fight, he 1-0. You know, beautiful game plan. You know, executed it very well. Uh, listened to his corner. You know, circled the ring, kept it in the center. You know, that right hand was dangerous. You know, I seen that right hand laying on Dev a couple of times. You know, the Devin Haney made a corny ass post. Hey Devin, you listen to nigga, you listening to me, nigga. You Victor Conte godson looking motherfucker. Let me tell you something, man. You're the cheater. You're the cheater. You're the bitch. You're the one that protected your O. Now I mean, you're the one that ran and go work with a well-known cheater named Conte. The Conte cartel. So when y'all niggas get indicted, that shit gonna be the fuck the Rico. That shit gonna be the Snacko. The Snacko, and it's gonna be all of y'all like a pyramid scheme. You know what I mean? I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. But at the end of the day, you know, right now, is Ryan the king of 147? Just by holding the WBC title, just by beating the guy at, you know, that who was after Boots left, you know what I mean? Mario Barrios, you know, really was the guy. You feel me? He really was the guy, WBC champion. You know what I mean? Is Ryan the new king of 147? Yeah, you see him putting Turkey on blast, but it's real though, because that's the fight the world wanted. But you seen how, hey, front, you know, man, you seen that shit. Like you can't make that shit up. You can't make that shit up. Like the motherfuckers, man. You know, some people will say they sold for some motherfucking money. You know, but I'm glad, you know, everybody. I'm glad Golden Boy, PBC, like Tom Brown, you know, a lot of them brothers came up and showed up. You know what I mean? I got to check into the Josh Warrington fight, you know, because I was taking the net. So, you know, I got to see how that card looked, you know. But, you know, tonight, I got to watch the GWOAT, you know. Shout out Clarissa Shields, you know, Cruz, you know, tonight, you know, Salida Promotions, you know, it's going to be a good fight. I don't know. I got a feeling Clarissa pregnant. I don't know. She looked pregnant to me. You know, gained a lot of weight, put on a lot of weight. You know, she looked pregnant to me. And you know, like when you like 2, 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, you can still do what you want, you know. But hopefully, you know, she pulled it off. You know, it's just a friendly battle tonight, but you know, still a great night for boxing. But yeah, what y'all think? Ryan Garcia, the new king of 147? And if him and Shakur do fight, you think they're gonna fight for the WBC at the catchweight? And how do y'all see that fight looking? Of what you seen last night in Shakur performance, you know? Um, Ryan looked good going 12 rounds, man. You know, he looked good going 12 rounds. But Shakur looked great going 12. You know, well, wasn't that fight, but it was a born ass fight. Clarissa looked like Hey yo, frontline. Hey, you said she like Antonio Taro with a wig on. Hey, yo. That's crucial. That's damaging. That's a career ender, bro. Fatality. Yo, that's crazy. When you look at it, yo, if she really do, that's crazy.
That's her. She gives me, but I got the same thing.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That motherfucker, man. Hey, but I want to know how this shit gonna play out. You know how people gonna dress a lot of shit up. Ryan did pitched out a 12 rounder. You know what I mean? Got a shutout, a clear shutout. A pure boxing clinic. Um, who performance y'all thought was better? If they do fight, because they're gonna judge by your last performance. So if these two brothers do fight at 144, but listen, man, I'm gonna keep it real. I'd rather see that fight. No, I'd rather see Core get the opportunity because if he win, I like to see Core build that relationship back with the WBC. If he win, you know. But everybody know what the best fight to happen. Devin Ryan, that's the best fight to happen. A unification. You know, damn. You know, Damn, this is a tough one, man. Shakur or Devin? Shakur or Devin? What's next for Ryan? Shakur or Devin? Connor Ben, listen, Connor Ben, you out. Listen, you out of here. You up on out of here. You had your opportunity. You had your chance. It would have been a big fight, especially if you would have stood with Matchroom, went back across seas, sold out to Wembley. It would have been a great situation. Or came here and sold out a soccer field in Mexico. You know, would have been a great attraction. But at the end of the day, you dropped the ball, man. Signed with Zoo for one fight deal, so hopefully we'll see what's next for Connor. But as of to date, right now, Ryan got a decision to make. Devin Haney rematch, which is going to be the biggest thing in boxing. Listen, I definitely tell you it's going to be the biggest thing in boxing. Or even if he fights Shakur, and if he fights Shakur at 144, is the WBC title going to be on the line? You know, we need to find out all this. And is he signing back to GPP? Is he signing back to Golden Boy? You know, we seen what Oscar said. Oscar said Ryan still have a lot of fights under contract, but Ryan, I'm gonna keep it tall, dog. Stay with Golden Boy. You can do your own thing, or help let Oscar help you guide Ryan promotion. Know what I mean? King Ryan Promotions, the King Lion, whatever fucking promotion you got, you know, just let Oscar help you guide it. You know, listen, man. You know what the crazy thing is? Man, listen, man. Fuck all that. I watched Virgil Ortiz Sr. come out and talk bad about Oscar, right? Talk bad shit about Oscar. Talk bad about Oscar. Yeah, when my son was sick, he wasn't. Bro, Oscar wasn't there. Nigga, your son still had a chance to fight Stanionis 3 times while he was sick. Remember, the fight got called off 4 times. The first time was because of Stanionis' hand. And then they gave it a 5 week date. So during they gave it in a 5 week date, motherfucking what's his brother named Karen Duncan was like, well, Boots can get that fight. He can fight Virgil. The next thing you know, Virgil end up sick. Then second, remember, Stanionis come back. Virgil was sick again. Remember, it felt off 3 times because Virgil was sick. Then he come back and fought who? Maurice Hooker at 147. Instead of coming back, getting a title shot. You feel me? And who was by his side when Virgil was sick? Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was by his side. Oscar De La Hoya was defending your son. Oscar De La Hoya kept saying, Virgil Ortiz, Virgil Ortiz, Virgil Ortiz. Oscar De La Hoya kept your motherfucking name, your son name in the brackets. And at that time, remember, Oscar De La Hoya owned the Ring magazine. So make it make sense to the world, bro. Saying De La Hoya wasn't there, bro, is diabolical. You must be high off K2, my nigga. Like, come on, bro. De La Hoya was there. It's like motherfucking Conor Ben. When Conor Ben was on them PEDs from eating them motherfucking eggs with Ostarine, that nigga had them Ostarine eggs. That nigga, you know the nigga from Australia, you know what I mean? That nigga eating Oscar. I mean, what's them big ass birds name? Ostrich. He eating ostrich eggs that comes, with ostarine. You know what I mean? That's the main ingredient. And Eddie Hearn on BBC, British Boxing Commission, all up there. What, a 2 3 year suspension? You feel me? Taking all the motherfucking arrows and rocks like Jesus did for Conor Ben. You feel me? But I'm only bringing Ben into this shit because we just watched two promoters, you know, that went through a lot protecting two fighters. And for certain people to say these motherfuckers ain't do good by their fighters is diabolical. Because that's one thing about Oscar Virgil. From 2022 till you fought Maurice Hooker and moved up. And this the crazy thing is, right? Since he moved up, why the fuck he ain't get sick again? Because if you got a certain disease, that means you always got that disease. Know what I mean? We got to keep it tall, right? It's like a person with sickle cell, right? A person with Crohn's disease, right? You feel me? People got to keep it tall, man. People got to keep it tall because, like, shit be crazy. Shit be crazy out here. You know? Shit definitely be crazy out here, man. But I seen that post and I seen them comment and started talking crazy. And I'm like, wow, senior, like, it's really y'all. It's really y'all who don't want to fight. Because Rick Maringian is only speaking for you. Know what I mean? This is what you want. You don't really want your son's career to get fucked up. You want to protect that and move into a certain direction and beat up a bunch of fucking no names and easy opportunity situations that you can get. You feel me? Because when we really look at your resume, bro, you know, like we can talk. We can talk. We can talk. Like Lubin been shell shocked since 2026. He cheeks. Madrimov, the nigga said he was sick, so that's why he ain't wanted to pull out. Cause remember Schofield pulled out, Daniel Dubose, Daniel Dynamite pulled out, and Madrimov was sick, so he was forced to fight. Cause if he would have pulled out, everybody would have looked at the situation like, damn, why everybody getting sick over there? Or is it the real jet lag? And 9 times out of 10, that's what it be. These brothers don't go over there and get sick and get poisoned. It be jet lag. Cause your body gotta get immune to their atmosphere. So you don't go over there a week of or 4 days up. No, motherfucker, you get there 3 months before. Cause the first month you gotta get used to it. It ain't gonna be nigga the first month. Nigga, you gotta bring your own waters over there and have your own waters become room temperature over there, bro. I'll go to the American embassy, my nigga. That's all I can tell you. Know what I mean? But all right, Maurice Hooker, that nigga ain't been the WBO junior welterweight champion since 2021. That nigga was ass when you fought him, bro. That nigga was ass. You moved him up from 140 to 147, bro. Ass. Frederick Lawson, ass. Thomas Delorme was already shell shot. Bodie was already shell shot. You let Boachuk really beat you. Boachuk beat you. McKenzie, Colossus, right? Harare, a motherfucking Brad Sullivan, butt cheeks, my nigga. Orozco, butt cheeks, my nigga. A bunch of corny motherfuckers. Let's keep it tall. Let's keep it tall. And out of all of those names, Oscar built you, my brother. Oscar De La Hoya built you as a fighter. And we grew to love you. Like, damn, Virgil a dog. Yeah, Virgil this, Virgil that. So though for your pop to come out and talk bad about it's crazy, and talk bad about Golden Boy promotion, it's crazy. You're ungrateful. You're ungrateful. And that's a rap, and that's a fact. You're ungrateful, bro. This brother right here been in your shoes. You seen how he guides your career, bro. Everybody how Ryan get this, how Ryan get that. Cause of Oscar, my nigga. Cause of Oscar De La Hoya. Cause of Golden Boy promotion. Cause of Bernard Hopkins. These the brother Gomes. The brother Eric. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You gotta put respect on these brothers' name, but you're gonna get it's shade in all angles. When the sun out, it's shade in all angles. It depends what side of the building you on. It's always there. It always depends what side of the building you're on. And No, shout out Golden Boy. Y'all got a new WBC champion at welterweight. Ryan the King of 147. You got to crown him. Ryan the King of 147. Shout out Ryan Garcia. You know, it's only right. Big dog of you know, and that chain was fire. A front line, that chain was fire. Fire ski. That shit was fire stick. A son, my co-host, shout out my co-host, Shot Two's Boxing, man, 0.5 speed. You hear me? There was a lot going on, man. There was a lot going on, man. 140, listen, man, 140 was in the building yesterday, man. The whole junior welterweight division was in the building, man. Like, but hit fucked the situation up, man. It could have been fire, but the Namir and Frank fight, yo, couldn't nothing replace that. Fight of the year candidate. You got to give that fight of the year candidate. Um, that was a goodie, man. That was a good one. That was a good one. No, that was a real draw. That was a real draw. You can call that a real draw. In the 10th round, Frank got hurt. If those ropes wasn't there, or if Frank would have never grabbed, if Nair had some great, no better footwork, so soon when he caught him, he could have just stepped off or pivoted away or pivot and spun. Frank would have dropped. He would have got a knockdown. You know, but sometimes, man, his reach was crazy. You know, sometimes, man, you got to work on your footwork, man. You want to sing, nigga, you better do some Chris Brown moves. You better start doing some fucking Chris Brown moves, nigga. Some Usher moves, nigga. Some Michael Jackson moonwalk moves, nigga. You want to be singing and shit because you could have scored a knockdown or you could have got a knockout because that shit was mean and clean. You feel me? That shit was mean and clean, man. I ain't gonna lie about that. That joint was mean and clean, man. Yeah, it's pouring outside, man. But I gotta pull up for the album, man. It's the cook up album, man. It's the cook up album. It's only right. You know, we broke the recap down. I'm gonna run through it again. Episode 70. Ryan, that knockdown in the first round was crazy. That overhand was crazy too. Carding. Carding clean. He caught that ball clean. Um, no, nowadays zapping me is crazy, right? But shout out Shakur, when he interviewed him, you know, Shakur gonna always say, yeah, the brother of the truth. Cause no certain fighters is the truth. They grew up in the amateurs, they fought each other in the amateurs. Shakur trying to say Ryan Garcia, your mom was the judge at the time. No, Ryan said that one of your trainers was messing with the judge. But at the end of the day, that's a fight to make, But do the world want Ryan and Shakur or Ryan versus Devin? You know, two big fights, you know. We know one makes sense more than the other one, especially now, WBC, WBO. But it looked like we might not get that, but an opportunity can happen. If they do fight at 144 at a catch weight, could these both fighters put both titles on the line if they pay the sanctioning fee? Or what body sanction is going to hold more weight? You know, Shakur fighting for the WBC. Hey, that's a relationship being built again. If the opportunity comes and if he scored a victory, you know, or Ryan can and still, and give Shakur his first loss. How would that go at 144? Or Ryan just be like, fuck it, I'm going straight into the rematch with Devin. We unifying WBC, WBO. This is the fight everybody want. This is the biggest fight in boxing till date. You got to keep it real. Besides Boots, Virgil, Benavidez, Canelo, Boots, Bud, but right and now, or when Tank come back, Tank and Shakur. Know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like to keep it tall, what's next for Ryan? And do you believe he's the king of 147 after becoming the champion and got the belt that matter? That's the key thing. He got the belt that matter. He got the belt that matter. That's the key thing about Ryan Garcia. He has the belt that matter. A lot of the other fighters don't. He got the most prestigious belt in boxing. You listen, you already see the pay he getting now. Imagine the pay he about to get more. That's about to add on. It's about to triple up, quadruple up. Ryan about to level totally up, man. His level up about to be crazy. You know how Super Mario when he little, then he hit the thing, the question mark box, and he ding 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 ding. Ryan about to level up something crazy. The biggest star in boxing happened last night. He's already a main attraction. Now he's about to become the biggest star in boxing. Think about it. Oscar did it again. He got another one. Oscar De La Hoya did it again. He got another one. Shout out Golden Boy Promotions. They did it again. They got another one. You know, but it's all about how this situation going to happen. Was that Ryan last fight last night, or is he going to stay with Golden Boy? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Should he leave or should he stay? You know, when you got a promoter that keep their word, man, it's called loyalty, man. Especially with Ryan and Oscar, the money y'all made, you becoming a 10 million, $20 million prize fighter, and during the time, you know, you held titles, but it was a bunch of continentals and interns. You know, you still a champion. But at the end of the day, the money that you grossing and making, you always wanted to become a champion. Every fighter want to become a real champion. You know, and every fighter want that green belt. You know. But yeah, man, it was a great one yesterday, man. That shit was good and great. It was a great one yesterday. No, but the duck flu was real out here, y'all. And sticking to the Ghost and Albright fight. Should it be a rematch? Should it be an instant rematch? Should these brothers have their own main event? Because it's worth it. It was worth it yesterday. You know, it was worth it yesterday. And you know the crazy thing, even though I spoke on it, I touched up on it yesterday about the Janet Big situation and how they not stripping him and how he just can't defend his title for like I think like a year or something. Hey Fredo, what up? You thought he lost? I thought he pulled it off. When I look at the first five rounds, he pulled it off. He had the first 5 rounds in the bucket. So in the late rounds he scored two more. From 6 to 12, he got 2 rounds out of that. You know, so that shit was like a 4-2 because Andy started to come back. Like in the ninth round, Andy started to take off. I'm not gonna take that from him. But you got some close rounds in between the 6th and the 12th. But from the first to the fifth, Gary Russell won those clearly. You know what I mean? He won those clearly. He won those clearly. But it was a good fight. I like Andy Hiroka. He grew on me. I respect him. That's what I'm saying. Like, uh, 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 um, that's why I say I always tell fighters the best thing to do is come to wherever you're about to fight at, go train over there. Stop thinking I'm gonna train over there. Then my time, niggas, your visas might get fucked up, or people might do that shit on purpose. You feel me? So the best thing to do is just come over, come over a motherfucking month, 2 months early, and do your camp wherever continent you want to fight at. You know? Yeah, you seen it. But Gary got to tighten up. But we always got to remember, Gary Antoine Russell was not Gary Russell Jr. He not the brother. You feel me? The brother is more slick and explosive. You know, this Gary, he still got a lot to work on. But he got the dog mentality. He got the dog in him. It was a great fight. Don't get me wrong. It was a great fight. Um, shit, I love to see Andy Hiroka and Raymond Montaya. You know. I like to see that fight. I like to see Andy if he goes down to 135. But at 140, damn. Then you gonna get hit Oscar. Who Who else open right now? Who else open? Who else open? Who else open? Tio and Andy Hiroka be a good fight at 140. You got Dalton Smith, but Dalton Smith might unify. Um, Shakur Stevenson with the WBO. And some good fights at 140 for Andy. You know, definitely some good fights. But Andy did good though. I ain't gonna take nothing away from him. You know, second half of the fight he came on strong. But you know, it's always great to be a 12-round fighter, and that's one thing I seen in Andy. He got a diesel fuel. You feel me? Like he got an engine. You know what I mean, he's a 12-round fighter. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, okay. Now you over here with the top dogs. Okay, so what you was doing with them low level people, all right, you're still doing it now, but you're starting to catch on at the back end. You know, now you're starting to come on strong. And I always said that about Gary Antoine Russell. He always fades. In the second half of the fight, going into the second half, he fades, you know. And some people need to know how to start taking certain shit off. I like to see both rematches. Hey, I won't mind that. But Albright and Frank gotta happen again. You know, that was a great fight. You know, but they can do another card like that. You know, they can do another card like that and put Hit back on the card. Hit, they got to be the rematch grudge match. Hitcherson's got to get back on the card. The Duarte got to get his lick, and that's a card. You heard me? You heard me, Fredo? That's a card. You just created a card. The two rematches, Oscar Duarte and Hit again. That's a card again. And all they got to do is just put into somebody else under it and make it happen. Because that card to be fired by itself. Gary Antoine against Ryo was a bit overblown after watching his Pollo performance and now against Andy. But yeah, you seen the Pollo situation. You seen he had problems with both fighters. You know, I'm not gonna lie, like the first half of the fight, you know, I'm like, okay, but second half, I just wanted to see was the jet lag gonna kick in for Andy, and it didn't. He just got strong, you know, he just started to look good and started to take off. You feel me? And you just started to see Russell decline, you know, because he always declined. And that's what fighters, when y'all watch tape on him, all you got to do is be like, listen, we know he's going to decline, you know. And Andy was going for too many headshots in the first 5 rounds. He should have attacked the body early. And listen, I'm giving people game on this tape about the Russells. This is how I break them down. And if I train for them, all you got to do is go back and watch all of his fights. Sixth, seventh round come, he start to fade. His tank start to go. He's only strong in the first half. So in the first half of the fight, bro, I'ma chop the tree. I'ma chop the tree. And then I'ma get him the fuck up on out of here. Sandor Martin might beat him. Yeah, Frank, listen. One thing about Frank, it was the 12th round. It was it was a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna keep it real. First half of the fight, I thought Frank was cleaning me. You know, it's just like the second half of the fight. Second half of the fight. Yeah, he horrible. Joe crazy. You seen the game plan Joe had? Joe crazy. But I'm gonna tell people one thing, right? Last night shows and proves that Tank resume is aging like fine wine. It shows that Tank got the best resume out of all of them. Cause everybody he listen, that card yesterday, Tank knocked out 3 motherfuckers. And then when you look out the gym, he beat 4 niggas asses in sparring. That was outside of the ring. So with 7 motherfuckers that's dead, all 7, you know, Tank fucked them up. It just was few in sparring and 3 in real life. You know what I mean? And the 3 that was really fighting on the card, remember, Tank knocked all 3 of them the fuck out. And wasn't that Barrios only time he got knocked out was by Tank. Ryan was by Tank. Frank Martin was by Tank. And that's what people need to understand. Study game tape. When you study game tape on a fighter, you'll understand it better. And that's why I say about Gary Russell. When you watch him fade in the second half, all you got to do is attack the body first half. Cause he gonna do it to himself in the second half. But the first half, when you drop in the tree, it's over. It's over. Second half, you can put him right to sleep. Yeah, aging like milk, stop the cat. Nah, Tank resume aging like fine wine, man. Like, come on, Ryan, new WBC champion. Shit, Barrios became a WBC champion. Uh, Broly became a motherfucking champion. Know what I mean? Like, come on. Come on. Even Pitbull name out here still thugging. Be seeing Frank. Frank came back with a good stoppage last fight, a draw this fight, but he should have edged out. He should have edged out, but I think it was that the 12th round that did that. You know, shout out to Beck the Bully. You know, shout out to Beck the Bully. Beck the Bully put on a cool performance yesterday against a Becco and shit. You know, only problem I had with yesterday was the Hitchison duck flu situation and the Amari Jones situation. You know, in the fourth round, the Harvey Dock robbed that ball for a stoppage. You know, you missed that fight. Listen, man, Amari Jones, right? When he dropped the guy Luis Averis, when he dropped him, like the referee, like you hear the count. Y'all want to hear the count clear as day. It's gonna count. So when he get the 9, the guy's still on the floor. He was supposed to say 10. When he said 9, the guy never got up. So instead of saying 10, he get the guy and say, yo, can you still fight and pick him up? No, nigga, he's supposed to say 10 and stop the fight. You just fucked up a parlay, dog. Because you betted on something, bro. And this is what a lot of these motherfuckers be doing, man. He need to move up, but yo, when you talk heavy, saying you ready, you in good shape, the best shape of your life, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. There's no excuses in your camp, and then supposedly we supposed to believe something that we seen with our own eyes. You feel me? Friday night, you know, throughout that whole week, it wasn't no complaining. You know, the only complaint you made is the Limos fight. You know, and now it's I can't do this. Like, come on, I'm not hearing that shit. I'm not trying to hear that shit. I'm not trying to hear that shit. No. But yeah, it was a good night yesterday, man. It was a good night. You know, I'm about to get up on out of here. Gave you my hour, you know what I mean, to cook a hour. You know, it was a great night of boxing yesterday. Great recap. You know, run out, give these shout outs out. Shout out everybody that motherfucker pulled up. Hey, Fredo for life. I appreciate you for pulling up, Brody. But you know, shout out the gang. Nah, man. Shout out we game all night. Shout out Frontline. You know, shout out my brother Timmy T. 88, you already know what it is, gang. Herb Legend, what up? Not Afraid for Life, what up? Santos Boxing, Round 1 Sports TV. You know, I mean, it was a good day in boxing yesterday. You know, it was a good day. Shout out to Ryan Garcia, the new king of the 147 division. Um, what's next for Ryan? Devin or Shakur? Um, later on, you know, we pull up on Round 1 Sports Talk TV, you know, and talk about this Clarissa situation and break down more about this. But listen, man, 0.5 speed coming, man. It's coming. I promise. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. But no, I'm up on out of here, dollar.
Dog hit me up, said he got lit. Bad jump shot, so he might shoot a brick. Dog hit me up, said he got lit. Bad jump shot, so he might shoot a brick. Dog hit me up, said he got lit. Bad jump shot, so he might shoot a brick. Dog hit me up. Dog hit me up. Shorty on my line, told the bitch to call back, cause she getting out of line. Louis, what's the deal? Nigga, we talk. Got a 9 on a mission, nigga, watch we talk. Meet me on the block, tell me everything you know. From the guns to the chips and the kilos of coke. All I see is white. Let my vision flash. Got my hand on them birds, about 100 in cash. Nigga, what's the math? Said I'm rich forever. Ride a trap or die. Got my mind on this cheddar. Wish a nigga would. If a nigga try, leave brains on the step, laying next to his mind. Get it or die. That's the motivation. I tell it how it is. See the bullets penetration. Dog hit me up. Said he got lit. Bad jump shot, so he might shoot a brick. Dog hit me up. Said he got lit. Bad jump shot, so he might shoot a brick. Dog hit me up. Said he got lit. Bad jump shot, so he might shoot a brick. Dog hit me up. Said he got lit. Bad jump